Hi, folks. Welcome to another 10 Talk. I'm excited today. Nicole Folkman is going to chat with us about curating books online and how to really give students choice in their reading through that curation process. And she's got a lot of good resources for that. Nicole is the district librarian and the STEAM director for Hartsburg-Emden district. And she's also the 2017 Illinois Teacher of the Year finalist. My name is Nancy Latham. I'm from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Nicole, I'm excited to hear your ideas because this is, it's complex to appropriately curate books in ways that draw kids to books they should be, that are a reading level appropriate and all of that without, micromanaging what they read, making it engaging. And that is not even when we're trying to just do it online.
Sure. When spring happened and everything was sort of an emergency, we were all scrambling, right? But now we've had the summer to sort of look at some ideas and try to put some things together so that we can very consciously make sure that our kids have a lot of choices instead of just what we can find in the moment. So I found some places that I thought might be helpful. The first thing that I really think is best for people who have the opportunity is if you have a public library that is in your school district or that your students would be a part of their district, to partner with them, because that public library probably already has a digital collection, both audiobooks and ebooks. And so students, if they don't already have a library card, you probably, if you get in contact with those librarians there, they're wizards. They will figure it out and they will get your kids access. So that's a great way that we can do it with resources that already exist, right? Schools don't have to spend any money to make that happen, and it creates great partnerships with your public library. So that is, if you have that available in your district, that's fantastic. But a lot of Illinois is rural. And so some of us don't live in public library districts. For instance, my entire school district is not in any public library district. So we have to look at some other ways to get some resources to our kids. And one of the great things is that this past year in the spring, and some companies are looking into continuing in the fall, some are not. We're gonna have to keep an eye out kind of case by case. But Epic Books is one that I have found that that spans the ages. Sometimes you'll find some online book curations that are just for the younger kids because it's kind of easier to put a bunch of picture books online. But Epic has books for all sorts of ages, and you can, at least right now, still sign up for a free access. So I'm going to show you this once it loads. I'm out in the country again, so my internet is kind of slow. But it has really high quality, really exciting books that the kids love with characters that they already enjoy. Okay? Because sometimes that's the part of it too. We can find free books online, but maybe it's not the stuff that the kids really want. So this one you can create, and so you, the teacher, can create for each of your different classes. You can have different sections so that you can make certain age group books available for different ages. If you're thinking district-wide, or your special ed, or your, the librarian or the curriculum instructor, you can separate this out. Because I am whole district, I went ahead and just left everything available to my students. But you can see, what grade school kid doesn't love Big Nate? And they have Big Nate available here for free. There's classics like the Boxcar Children and Goosebumps. They have Lego, they have Minecraft. They have all sorts of things that the kids really love. So that's a good way to be able to give choice. It's got tons of graphic novels, very visually appealing stuff that the kids will really love.
And they can actually check, is it like a checkout system? Are you able to track who's reading what?
You can, if you create classes and have the students have their own accounts, but all you have to do is click on the book and you can start reading it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
great.
so it's really, really nice. You don't have to worry about, oh, well, this kid has the book checked out, so another kid can't. It's multiple user access.
Okay.
So that one is one that is specifically designed for schools and that I have had a lot of luck with. It's worked out really well. Another one that it wasn't really for schools specifically, but is really helpful with audiobooks is Audible. Although it's typically a subscription service, they have some audiobooks available for students right now. And you can just listen in your browser. You can get the app and listen to them on your device, your phone, your tablet, whatever, which is really helpful, especially for teenagers. You know,
Yeah.
they might still be doing walks and runs to condition for sports that may or may not happen. And they like having that audiobook on their phone to keep them company while they're doing it. So this is an excellent option. They have, it's a limited library. It's not the entire Audible library by any means, but they also have them in a few different languages, and they have worked to get some of their diversity and inclusivity up. When they started, it was just classics, but they've worked on making this collection a lot more inclusive, which is really helpful. And you can see, again, there's the classic stuff like C.S. Lewis, but then there's also Miss Peregrine's that the kids love because it's young adult, it's kind of creepy. They really love it. So there's a lot of selection there as well.
Yeah, I've thought about Audible too, or Audible audio books that even with young children, it would be nice that, you know, if they kind of that focusing on a book a week, very young children, and one day they read it, one day you have it read to you, one day you listen to it on Audible, one day or whatever.
Absolutely.
I think that just different ways, because of that repetition they enjoy with a simpler book.
Yes, absolutely. And it helps with us for our inclusivity, being able to allow multiple formats for our students, because we know that different kids just need different formats. And so even when we have the ebooks, students can change the brightness of the background. They can change the zoom on the browser so that if they need visual cues to help them out, that they can still do that. And it's really helpful.
Yeah. That's great.
And then another one that I thought was really wonderful, specifically for teenagers and young adults, Riveted from Simon has been giving very new, very exciting young adult books to students. And sometimes it's an ebook and sometimes it's an audiobook. But it's mostly like very new, very exciting YA, which can be tougher to find a lot of times when you're trying to share books with students. We want our high school students not to just read the classics. They don't usually get very excited about the classics. They aren't inclusive, they aren't exciting. And so having books written specifically for teenagers is a huge help, because in my experience for the past 14 years teaching teenagers, this is what they want. You hand them these books, they will read them. You hand them a classic, they're gonna need a lot more incentive to read it. I'd rather they read and read voraciously. So I would rather put a young adult book in their hands.
So now, is this a subscription? Do they have to have an individual subscription to this?
Nope, this is just their website that they had out, and then you just click on the book and you can start reading right then. They do have an app you can use also, so you don't have to use it in the browser. And they are refreshing these books every month or so.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I know there's a couple of services too, as you were saying, if you get a library card, if you're fortunate enough to be in a library district, which actually, until you said that, I didn't even realize that we weren't all in at least in one encompassed. But if you have a library card and get that, I mean, there's a couple different services. I can't remember the name of them all, but Hoopla is one of them, and there's another one. And you know, I mean, I think I personally belong to 3 different ones with my library card. And you know, before I go pay for it on my Audible subscription, I will make sure that I can't get it free.
Absolutely.
One of the 3, because they all have kind of different things and different amounts of the book. Because there you actually are checking it out. If it's borrowed, however many copies they have, you have to sometimes wait. But I think that is, you know, if you're thinking ahead, that is a good way
Yes.
to
And
do
there,
it.
we do all as Illinois citizens, there is through Rails and Heartland, which are our statewide library groups, there is, I think it's BiblioBoard. I don't have that queued up to be able to show it, but that is free books for everyone in Illinois. It doesn't always have a lot of the newer, more exciting titles, but there is still a lot that's available there. And you don't have to worry about checking that one out. It's all multiple users at the same time, and it's all free and legal books.
Oh,
So
wow, that's
really,
great.
there's another really good resource, BiblioBoard.
Well, we'll grab that website address from you. So all of the websites that Nicole has talked about, all of the different ones, we'll have those in the top 10 list that accompany this talk. So grab those and check them out and see the different ways that you can use them and connect your students to that reading. Nicole, thanks. It's been great.
Thank you. It's been
Thank
wonderful.
you. And like I said, we'll have that list up.